Hello everyone, welcome to my The Real Housewives of Atlanta official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Kim Zolciak and Kroy Biermann's acquaintances apparently believe their 11-year marriage is unfixable. Earlier this week, a screaming match between the pair came into focus with the release of police bodycam footage captured after one of their children contacted 911. Footage of their dispute, which took place in November, shows Biermann yelling at his narcissist wife, 45, as authorities arrived to break up the argument. Despite the heated row, insiders claimed TMZ that Zolciak and Biermann managed to quickly heal bridges. Eventually, however, the cumulative weight of their marital troubles, including their quarrels over money and property, apparently became too much to sustain. Their marriage is claimed to be irretrievably ruined to the point that even treatment would be insufficient to heal their connection. According to insiders, acquaintances of the marriage have reached the decision that a breakup would be the least destructive option for their children. In the new clip, obtained by TMZ on Wednesday, the 38-year-old former NFL quarterback accused his estranged wife of being a narcissist, and he even alleged that she has been *****ing other men. The video recordings add new context to the yelling match, which was so severe that one of couple's 4 youngest children allegedly contacted 911 for help. A wild-eyed Biermann can be seen raving about his ex and criticizing her as he interacts with a responding officer, and he appears unable to calm himself even after law enforcement arrives. The bodycam video opens with an officer arriving at the couple's house in Milton, Georgia, which they put on the market for $6 million in October in hopes of reportedly evading foreclosure. In the tape, a law enforcement officer walks briskly and arrives at the home's garage, where Kroy can be seen leaning in toward the driver's side window of a white Range Rover, while Kim sits in it with the lights on. When the officer asks what is occurring between the two, Biermann replies in an almost joyful tone, "Was simply having an argument." When pressed about it, he adds the argument is over our *****ing lives, while lifting his hands in the air. "It's shattered," he continues, again flapping his arms up in the air, while referring to their marriage. When the officer, who sounded irritated at Kroy's tone, questioned what had triggered the fight, the former athlete blamed it on her inability to handle things, or confront them, or do anything. At the time, the two were standing in the middle of the drive, near to where Kim was parked, but the cop began going back and urged Biermann to accompany him. "Why?" shot out the annoyed reality star, as the police stated that he wanted them to discuss away from Zolciak. "I don't want her to start yelling at you and have a full disagreement," he stated, though Kim had yet to been seen or heard on the bodycam tape. Kroy took 2 steps forward before pointing at the Range Rover and screamed, "It's nothing but an act. It's all a bunch of bulls ******. He clarified that he was referring to whatever Zolciak does. "I'm not doing this," he said, gesturing toward the police officer and seemingly implying that he didn't want to unravel months' worth of conflicts in the moment. "This is egotistical behavior. I'm not doing this," he replied, while Kim could be heard shouting inaudibly from her vehicle. Then Kroy appeared to get irritated that the officer was even on the scene. "There's nothing to do. You shouldn't even be here. Who called you?" he said while swinging his arms up and down. "Your kids," the officer said, adding that it was presumably someone inside the house, but he didn't indicate which child had made the request for help. "What kid?" Kroy responded, before adding that he and Kim had been outside the whole time. When the officer tried to get Kroy to explain why he was getting so warm, he didn't turn down the temperature at all, but instead repeated, "Because our life is destroyed." He then waited for a couple seconds with his eyes wide and his mouth hanging open while he held his arms spread straight out to his sides. "What don't you understand?" he questioned aggressively. "There's no money. There's no house. We're getting divorced one day, we're not the next. She's of ****ing other men. What do you want? He continued yelling as his voice sounded increasingly harsh. Kim sat in her car for much of the confrontation. She then said that Kroy barred her from driving out of their home's gate. She claimed she escaped on foot in her bathrobe and cried for help from their neighbors, while Kroy followed her. After the agitated officer advised him to calm down, Biermann shouted, "Calm down. I don't have a in life." He continued ranting and began pacing, forcing the officer to tell him to cool down again. After a cut in the video, Biermann is no longer seen, however it's unknown where he went. The officer then walks back to the Range Rover to acquire Kim's account on the night's shouting match. "He's just been shouting at me for, 2 hours like a crazy person," Kim stated as she started to weep. "I simply said I wanted to seek a divorce. I just wanted it to be over," she added as she wiped her eyes with her hands. She went on to accuse Kroy of not allowing her leave this morning, stating that the gate to their driveway had broken, forcing one to physically open it, but she alleged Kroy stood in front of it and barred her from leaving. She stated that she had all these videos of that supposed encounter. Kim said she'd eventually escaped out of the gate on foot and stated she was walking down the street in RHOA when she proceeded to call for help in hopes that her neighbors might intervene. She accused Kroy of following her and screaming in her ear and grabbing on the back of her robe as she tried to get away. "I psychologically and physically and emotionally cannot handle this any longer," she informed the officer while burying her face with her hands. She stated Kroy tried to prevent their children from seeing the disagreement by instructing them to go out of the house when they were arguing indoors, before reportedly telling them to get back in the home as soon as she tried to walk outside where they were. Then Kim claimed that she was sitting in her car with the window down because it was the one place where she felt secure. She stated she had been talking to one of their sons via the window, but then Kroy had reportedly interceded and pushed his arm in the way to prevent her from closing the driver's side window. But the talk was stopped when Zolciak asked what Biermann was doing and remarked that he was yelling. The officer indicated he was chatting with another cop, but then he started walking toward where Biermann was again losing his temper. He started sprinting as soon as the shouts from the front entry of the property became more loud. Biermann could then be seen disputing with 3 other cops, who were accompanied by a K9 unit, in the foyer, while other voices that sounded as if they belonged to youngsters could be heard shouting indistinctly in the background. "Sir, I did not give you clearance to be in my home," the Don't Be Tardy actor stated, adding, "I know my rights." But one of the other police, visibly angry, instructed him to stop talking and explained, "We're here for a valid cause, to investigate a domestic violence problem." Kroy tried to interject that the individual is outside, evidently hinting that there couldn't be an issue if that was the case, but the officer continued, "Your kids are the ones that called. I need to talk to them." Kroy then stated he could bring them outside, but again insisted the officers didn't have the permission to be in his home. Part of the video cuts out then, but the cops look to have been able to speak with the children. Bodycam footage from another office shows him heading back out to speak to Kim, presumably as the others were dealing with Kroy in the house. She was now standing next to her SUV with a bottle of water and some of her items placed on the hood while she took a phone call. The officer asked for her side of the dispute again, and she hurriedly told the person on the other end of the line that she would call them back. The officer maintained that the children indicated mother and her estranged husband had been bickering, and he said one of the male children said he felt he witnessed something become violent, before the officer said it sounded to him as if Kroy was merely attempting to put his hand out to separate them. Kim didn't seem to insinuate that Kroy had hurt her, but instead stretched her arm out and mined her ex supposedly trying to stop her from leaving through their gate. She stated that she got free and strolled down the road in her bathrobe, which she said made her appear like an idiot. She claimed Kroy was screaming, "I don't care if **** about the neighbors, you idiot ********. He was shouting in my ears," she continued as she started to sob again. He doesn't want the divorce. That's the problem, Kim stated, although it was Kroy who initially filed for divorce. So what do you guys think about this update? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like my videos, please press like and subscribe for more. I'll see you guys next time.